Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Plans Review Committee. Tuesday, 24th November. I welcome our two guests here. As a courtesy to you, I will do your application first, rather than you have to listen through quite a lot of I'm sure it's quite interesting, but no, I will do that. I'll go through the agenda and I'll speak to you regarding the comments. Right, if we're all ready. Apologies for absence.
Yes, Chairman, we have apologies from Councillor Cookley.
And we have... It's all gone.
Yeah, you have to ask them if it's okay.
Oh, okay, sorry, it's further down my list.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I have to clarify too, so I usually do it further down the list. This whole meeting is recorded, okay, as long as you're happy. It's also filmed, or videos as such, as long as you're happy for that.
Yeah,
Thank you. We don't use it against you, don't worry, but we have to explain, because quite often we have all the public here that we need explaining to.
Yes.
Okay? My apologies, Mary. Sorry, I do it further down my list. We should do it first, correct. So, Mr. Cooley, Councillor Cooley is replaced by...
By Councillor Henry.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have any declarations of interest?
I'll just make a comment that 4 Cornwall Road comes on there for no comment by us. Despite the fact I live at 3, it's nowhere near to me, but just that we've got it on record.
Thank you very much. Right, we had the meetings on our last meeting, the minutes for our last meeting on the 27th of October. Everybody happy with those? You all had a chance to peruse them? I'll sign for sort of drawing.
Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
That's fine, I'll just finish every page.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, I didn't see it from the first page. That's 4 years of doing it.
Thank you.
Right, item number 4. Do we have any public questions?
No, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Right, before I go through the applications, I would like to explain, and I do explain at every meeting, we as a committee make comments on all applications, all the Harpenden applications. We have no power, so comments that we make are passed forward to St Albans, who make the ultimate decision. Whether it be their officer or in certain circumstances they come to the Plans North Committee, which discuss any controversial applications in Harpenden, Redbourne, Wheathampstead. But I do try and explain to people in the audience that although we're in an advisory capacity, the officers read what we say, but it's no power as such. Okay, so right, because we've got applicants with us tonight, I would like to move forward to 37 Cranbourne Drive, if that's all right, everybody.
On page 12.
Thank you very much. On page 12. If I can say one thing, and I know the applicants are here, I'm a little bit concerned about this because I've parked outside, I've looked at it, and I've read the application, and I'm amazed that St Albans has not updated their system to say it's incorrect. I'm a little bit concerned about that from my side of the fence. That in fact we're not demolishing the existing garage. Okay. My thoughts on what you're trying to do with the demolition of the garage are rather changed when the garage is going to be there. So if you don't mind 2 seconds, I'm just going to open the plans up and have a look, because obviously my committee has seen exactly that, but we were demolishing the garage, okay? Because they don't, on our details, we don't get this pack of plans.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to circulate around my fellow councillors at the table here, so we can see exactly what you're going to do, if you don't mind, okay? So it's difficult to include you in this, but we'll see what happens. Right.
And it's totally, it isn't demolition, that's correct.
It is not demolition of the garage. No, it is. So we're going to have a look at the plans. So we need to adopt something. Yes.
I've marked the proposed ones with green.
Good. Okay, fine. So that's existing. Existing. Very nice plans.
Sorry, the plan number on that one was?
Sorry, I should have said 5/2015-2985.
Page 12.
12.
Thank you.
Existing. Garage has been turned into a nursery, so it's going to be they're filling in the alleyway. No, leaving the alleyway.
Yeah, the alleyway can be there.
Right, and then they're adding on the back.
At the back.
That's really the only addition, other than changing the use of that, is adding to the beyond, as I read it.
Yeah, and that's part of the, they're going to put a good
Right, this is at the moment. Oh, it's going to be in the garage and the car, so to keep two spaces. Right, I understand. Right, there. Here.
So it's an internal adaptation of the garage to make two more rooms, yeah?
Yeah. So the garage isn't being demolished, it's just being converted as such.
Just
And we're keeping the alleyway between the two.
So there's actually no change to the external, it's just an internal change?
No, the utility room is the addition on the back.
Oh, they're adding that to the back.
There's an addition at the back, isn't there? Yeah.
Yes, utility on the back.
It's just where the garage joined the house, it's now an extra room, it's just
A
a
wall.
wall.
Yeah.
So is that going to be through? Is that going to be a... Because that seems to be the door. That's going to be... This is going to be a... So it is going to be infill.
Yeah, that's going to be infill.
It is going to be infill. So it will make the house in area. Because, right, okay.
Yeah.
I see, they're going to fill in that, what's the wall,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think there's a lot of things.
Yeah.
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 No lots of parking, effectively.
No, so just bringing the hard stand around the front. There we are. Maybe I didn't look up because I was happy with this. I didn't look up and there no comments from neighbours. I think it's just right. I'll ask the people if we can't do it. No, okay. Just back in the day, just that. You've spoken to your neighbours and they're happy with what you're doing?
We've
Because I mean, there's no comments on the internet. Quite often it's quite soon. They've still got days to do it.
What we did was before we went to the drop-in clinics in St Albans, we got the plans drafted and went to our
The immediate neighbours, yes.
first, and then through consultations with them, readapted the plans before we went to the clinics. So by the time we got to the clinics, we were...
Brilliant. Wish everybody did that way.
Yeah.
Make my life a lot easier. No.
Right, no objection from me.
No. We've got no worries with that. As far as we're concerned.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I will get that changed on the internet because it is quite important. If any other people look at it,
Yeah.
you've got to demolish it.
It has been changed on the internet just this week.
Well, certainly on my side, but I will make sure I go back tonight anyway. We will between us make sure that it's all correct for you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for attending. Thank you.
They've got a version of garage here that has changed it there.
Oh, right. I look at that now.
I don't know.
But you looked at it before, David?
I
Sometimes it pops up with what you looked at before rather than the update.
I've got it on there.
Oh, friend. All right, all right. My apologies. Okay, thank you, team. So you have your heads there. I looked at this one last week because I drive around that estate, so it was perhaps I looked last week it hadn't been. So perhaps I'm dreaming. Right, shall we go back to the beginning? We'll start from. Okay, so we're on page 7. We're happy with that. So we've got 5, 2015, 2952, 113 Crabtree Lane, part 2-storey, part first floor side extension, loft conversion with 2 rear dormer windows and roof lights. Replacement roof to existing rear extension, including roof lights and alterations to openings. It seemed quite dramatic to me that the neighbours haven't complained about it, but on the other hand it seemed lots of the houses in Crabtree Lane have been altered one way and the other. I don't personally, and the neighbour hasn't objected to. I usually go by, so we can't see what's happening at the back.
Do you want to have a look at it? Yes, please. Yes.
Does this replace or alter the 2005 one? Is this in addition to that, or is it in place?
I think 2005 was as we built.
Right.
Because it would have been out of date long ago with 3 years.
Is that the changes?
Pardon? Yeah, the green ones are constant.
Yeah, this is actually quite expensive. You suddenly go, oh, hello. What's the drop
It's
like?
not very expensive, really.
Pardon?
Is this
There's a plot plan.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm
First
thinking.
2 tonight.
Because it does look like it's...
I wish they could all be readable like that. I mean, it's not bringing it further forward than the 45 degrees for the neighbour, is it? On the... Sorry, because
It's quite long, isn't it?
This just looks quite big.
actually, if it's come across that,
But is it... Ooh. I'm not sure it is actually going out.
oh, that's the rear, that's the back, so it's...
Is that the
That's the front. Oh, it's the centre straight back, sorry.
I don't think it's going out any further.
I'm sorry, it's the marks we've got on here.
side, loft conversion?
No, it's not. That's part 2-storey, but where's the 2-storey? It doesn't say where it's
Part 2-storey, part first floor side.
at the side.
It looks like what they're doing is they're going out here onto the top of this bit here,
Right,
because they're not actually going out any further at the back,
No.
right,
and
okay.
they're going into the
existing.
loft.
Right, okay.
So it looks like actually it's just an extension over the existing.
The square in
That's
It's just they're just squaring the house up.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
What they're doing is they're taking this entire thing out, yeah?
Part 2-storey.
So
I
as
can
people-
understand the part first floor
This
side
whole
extension.
bit here is new,
Yeah.
and they're building right down the side of the house, right? And if you look, it's missing there. They're going right down the side of the house.
Yeah.
There's something that's 50% of the existing house. Yeah, and making it 50% bigger on the existing house. That's why that and that looks similar, but that is here.
2952.
Yeah, have you got it?
Yes, got it.
Yeah.
I was looking at these. This is
2952.
Yeah.
this looks similar to this.
The key one is the front. If you look at the front elevation.
Yes,
It would be
no,
affected. So,
But if there's no problems with the 45-degree angle and the neighbours haven't complained.
no.
If you look at the rear elevation, you'll see how much bigger it is. Yeah.
But if it implies that everything in the neighbours haven't complained.
The neighbours might not. The neighbours might be elderly and not know about it. They're not
Well, I
necessarily
mean,
informed.
they still
They would
would
have been
they still would have
informed,
contacted.
My
town.
neighbour extended. Nobody told me.
It's a difficult one. I
Whichever
mean, we can qualify it by saying subject to complying with. Subject to complying with, as long as no impact on neighbours.
Where is
Because I think I'm very happy with what they're trying to do, as long as it doesn't impact on whatever number that is going down the road.
Or you put
Where-
neighbouring properties.
Yeah,
Have you got a
properties.
street scene?
Sorry?
See, that's street scene on there.
That's not a street scene from the front.
No,
Oh,
we haven't
street scene,
got a
no, we
picture,
don't
no.
have street scene.
No, there's not one on the internet.
That's a street plan. Can I
That's
see
street
it?
plan,
yeah,
sorry.
no. But there is no,
Can you see that, Chris?
yeah, it's,
There is no street scene.
no. So, I mean, subject, I would qualify it, there's no objection, subject to no loss of amenities to neighbouring
Yeah.
properties, and that covers it.
But there's still a gap. And they're on the corner, so the house that they're
No,
going...
yes, I was referring to
Yeah.
the other side, but I know we're building on this side.
I think that side doesn't affect what's already there to
No.
the adjoining property, so that's not directly a problem, is it? But
No.
So
But
which side are they building, on the opposite side or the neighbour or?
they're building on this side, aren't they? The
They're
near
building
side.
on the opposite side of the neighbour, right back onto the
That house
other
there
house.
is brand new. That's been put up recently. That one there.
so they're going in the Grasmere Avenue direction.
So they're
Yeah.
coming this way towards us?
Yeah, in the diagram, yeah.
Yes.
Qualifying it
Yeah,
by saying subject to no loss of amenities to neighbouring properties?
Yes, I agree.
Is that okay with you? So
Okay,
we
down to the committee.
no, if you know, I can't see a reason to recommend refusal, but on the other hand, I can't actually visualise, because we haven't got a street scene picture, any impact on we're just
The
covering it.
only impact would be that the house is already much bigger than the other houses in the street. They're adding 50% to the size of the house. That just might make it look completely out of place.
But Crabtree Lane actually is a bit higgledy-piggledy, and if it's on the corner with another, it
Not
kind
these
of...
ones. These ones are if you look, they're
Yeah.
exactly the same.
I said there were existing 4 identical houses,
Yeah.
and the other 3, according to the plan, remain unaltered. And from what I recall from having gone past the other day, they look the same. So
This is a sensitive spot because it's visible all the way down Crabtree. When they built that, it was horrendous for a while until they began to put vegetation, etc. If this is actually the advantage is that's now in the way.
Yeah.
You could not have
It's
done that
visible.
because you were coming down
It
towards
wouldn't have
the
been
wall.
visible for me. But I mean,
No.
I'm open to you all for suggestions.
well, given everything that's said, no objection, subject to
No loss of amenities to adjoining properties.
To the street scene, but would express some concern, besides to the neighbouring property, would express some concern with the effect.
But impact on the street
the
scene.
impact on the street scene. was how I would go.
Yeah.
Everybody else is okay
Remember
with that?
that, Georgie?
Because that's what would worry me, impact
Yeah,
on
are you
streets.
happy with, if we happy
So
with, we put that qualification forward to St Albans for them to...
Yeah.
It does what we're here to do, it runs the track up.
No. Yeah, we've made comments accordingly, yeah. As you said, because it's already been extended once, it was 10 years ago. Right, next one is a quick one, starting petition 14, we don't have to worry too much about that, we have no power, which is 5/2015-2896. I'm sure that our friends know all about the River Lee. We didn't make our comments if they were here, but they're not, so...
No, that would be too.
Right. Next one, 5/2015-2909, loft conversion, 100 Park Rise. Now, St Albans refused the original one earlier this year. We didn't make a comment earlier this year, but St Albans refused it because it didn't comply with the conditions on what was allowed in this development. I am presuming now that the people have got together with St Albans Planning Department and this new application complies with the current rules.
Yeah, I think what it is there's a certain amount of volume that you're allowed regarding within the permitted development, and because they went over that, they then have to put in a planning application for it, and that's what they've done with this.
So again, subject to no objection, subject to complying with.
Yeah.
Are we all happy with that one?
Yep. Agree.
Right. 5/2015-2921, change of use from office to dwellings, front side, rear extensions, installation of roof lights, 5 one-bedroom, 4 two-bedroom flats, associated parking at 110 Luton Road, mostly known as the Earlham House. I mean, I know this place, I've seen it when I drive by all the time, and quite frankly, it just looks huge, what they're trying to do here. I don't know what anybody else thinks.
Right. If I can just show you, just so that you know, it's just a little bit of working out myself. This is the previous application that was refused. Okay, so I've marked it in pink.
Did we look at that one before?
It was us. I don't think it was.
I didn't, but it could have been before me.
It's in my mind somewhere.
And this is the new one. So, they have reduced it, but you probably still think it's rather large. Let's find the right one. This is the, I think it's a couple of wings they might have reduced. Oh, here we go. I've marked them with, I had to look at it a couple of times. Right. Where I've marked it with crosses, I think that's the area that they've reduced it. And they've added on some balconies, I believe.
How many parking spaces?
So they've still got 9 parking.
How many flats?
They have got...
6 two-bedrooms, 3 one-bedroom, 9 still.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No,
5 one-bedroom, 4, 9.
Yeah, they've got
Okay, so they've
13 bedrooms, whereas they had 15 bedrooms.
Well, they've still got too many, not enough parking spaces for the number of flats.
And I was a bit concerned about the screening from the trees as well, where over the properties as well, because I know for a fact that that became an issue in Lideck, was it Lideck Park or one of the areas? Do you remember a gentleman that we had? He passed away, but he was forever. He had a flat that he chose to buy. And I think it became an issue because of the trees.
He wanted the tree. I remember he wanted the trees cut down.
Yeah, and so I'm a little bit concerned about, on there you can see where the trees are, and they're going to create shadowing and all the rest of it.
Yes, I mean the reason for refusal originally was that by reason of lack of information demonstrate that significant mature trees along the northwest side boundary should be suitably protected as a result of the...
I think it's huge.
It is used. I'm... Difficult for me to say.
It's
I don't think to knock 2 bedrooms off it is dramatically reducing it in size.
No. I don't think...
Mary's comments about the parking,
Yeah.
likewise,
Yeah.
we still haven't got... So...
I mean, I'd
fails
go...
to address then, isn't it?
Fails to address.
Fails to address reasons for refusal.
To over-dominant in the street scene.
Right, so over-dominance in the street scene.
Yeah, we've got that then, of course, we'll be there to start to achieve the design.
Conserve the trees as well.
Is there anything in the one from 1194 that doesn't apply this time? Have they addressed any of that? Or do we just stick with what we said before?
Well, I mean, St Don's just said that it was overdevelopment. I mean, there's no indication here that they've liaised with St Albans all the way through and found out and said what St Albans would accept. I would like to think that they've spoken to the officers and agreed a common ground, but it does still seem to me...
Bedrooms 1 and 2, are they the ones they've knocked out?
Sorry, you've got the plans. Sorry,
Flat 5 by 6, flat 7. Kitchen lounge. No, they've still got 2 bedrooms.
Right, okay.
With roof lights.
Flat 8.
Yes, they only seem to have roof lights, these bedrooms, which was said not acceptable before.
I mean, they said it was dominating overbearing impact on number 108, which is still a pretty large development.
I can't see anything in that in the refusal of 1194 that has been addressed by the amendments.
No,
For me, it stands as before.
no, I'm sympathetic with that.
That's
Yeah.
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 So I put overdevelopment of the site regarding bulk Masdale, insufficient parking, over-dominance in the street scene, fails to address previous issues, concerns regarding the trees and shading. Do you want me to use quite a lot of what?
No, I think I personally think that's the comments we've made.
Yeah.
We haven't got to go into the details, but that they haven't complied with, to my knowledge, the reason for refusal. They've just tried to amend it.
That's why we don't actually need to repeat that, do we?
No. We said it didn't comply with the reasons for
So you
refusal.
just want fails to address?
Yeah,
Is that all you want?
yeah. Well, and I have to,
And
the way that we've looked at it,
yeah.
but I think that's the main one.
Yeah, okay.
Anybody have for that? Can we have all this?
It's important, I mean, you could say something there that it's very prominent, so it's on the main road, it's very prominent.
It's the first thing you see when you enter Harpenden.
Yeah.
Obviously, it might change if Bloomfield Road's developed, but I don't.
Yeah.
Bottom of the page, 5/2015-2923, new front porch, single-storey side, two-storey front extensions, alterations and raising of the roof. Resubmission following refusal earlier on this year at 38 Ridge Avenue. I am presuming by this new application that they likewise have liaised with district the reasons for refusal and have now come back with something that's district thinks acceptable. So I think your comments here provided previous reasons for refusal have been addressed.
Yes, they've made changes to the roof line and the side door's been removed. So that yes, they have quite
So I see no reason for
Yeah,
other than saying what we
I
said.
agree.
That's no doubt for me as
Yeah.
well.
It is useful when somebody comes back with a second application, when it's a householder ones, usually they learn what to balance. We don't worry too much about the next one other than the comments we've had to make, which is 5/2015-2894, non-material amendment to widen right-hand window, the garage conversion. Again, this house has got quite a history of things changing and what have you. And I think what the comments we've made, no objections subject to the correct design. Happy with?
Yeah, I
Yes.
agree.
Next one, 5/2015-2918, single-storey rear extension with roof lights, 3 high elms. Again, I think the comments Minister has made, no object subject to appropriate design, use of materials, which will be part of the mission. I don't think we need to worry. Again, nobody's commented.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
especially
all right.
for the roof.
Yeah, that's laid out for me.
Right, 5/2015-2928, part single, part 2-storey rear and single-storey side extension, front roof light, terraces to driveway, and extensions of rear patio, 2 Oakwood Drive. It's a very large house. Again, nobody's made any comments about it. I don't think, again, if it complies with all the rules regarding materials, and I think an objection personally. I don't know what anybody else would like to. No? No? 5/2015-2855, garden room to the rear. It's a garden room rather than a conservatory. Again, subject to design and materials passing McDonald's. I'm all for adding things for people to sit in on the rear, especially if it's only single story.
Yeah, I agree.
Everybody happy?
Fine now.
Yep. The next one, I know Chris mentioned that he lives in L3, but again, it's a discharge of conditions. So this is 5/2015-2975, samples of materials for Cornwall Road. It will get approved by St Albans in that respect. Right. 5/2015-29, proposal for new hard standing and pedestrian pathway at St George's School. I couldn't quite work out exactly, because obviously I couldn't go into the school premises, exactly where this was actually going to be built, looking at it from the road.
Right. It is.
So this is the main road, the Stewart Road, yes. So what we're going to do is...
So this is the entrance to the building.
Right.
And it's in between the 2 playing fields, and at the moment it's in a muddy area, apparently. And they want to make it into a non-muddy area.
So it's like quite a nice path leading up to the school.
Yeah, leading up to the school.
Do you think it's because there must be kids walking, trampling across it anyway? So
Yeah.
yeah.
So they said it's quite dark, so they're going to put solar lights.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a good
nice.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
So where are they going to put the hard standing area?
Well, the hard standing areas are, there's one going to be, I think there's
They're
going to
going
be,
to be able to put more cars on site rather than parking in the road.
I think it's a hard standing
It's not
area.
vehicular, is it?
No, it's just for the children to stand
Oh, I was
on.
just,
Yeah,
It's
sorry, sorry, it wasn't
not
vehicle.
a path, it's not,
Oh, my apologies.
it's not
Sorry.
a road.
Yeah, it's just like a
In
little
the back of
line
my mind, I
around.
thought we were trying to build like a car
No,
park.
just for them to
No, that's fine.
stand on.
It's like-
It's this side of the school rather than the
Yes. No, I now understand.
Stewart Road.
Standing in Stewart Road and trying to work out exactly what was going to do with that going out their premises.
Yeah.
And I've never been to St George's School.
Yeah.
The problem is if they're going to walk, that way they'll do it.
Yes.
And I'm just trying that up.
They do,
Yeah, that's
they do,
very well they're
it's
doing
quite
it.
well, it's quite well used, that,
No.
that entrance,
Yeah.
it's all from the ones from Crossway and
That's
down.
very well they're doing it because
Marcus,
they are fed up
right.
with the gardeners fed up with having
Yeah.
kids
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
No objection, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Page 11, 5/2015, 2881, two-storey front, single-storey rear, and alterations to the openings, 16 Ridgewood Gardens. Comments, please.
Let's have a look at this.
Anybody
Please.
have a book at the plans?
I don't want to be good. Not a lot of people. I actually am going to ask that this one for a little while, to be honest.
Because the one next door's got, they've all got stuff, doesn't happen to it as well.
Yeah.
And there's definitely there's one house on the road that's been significantly changed from.
It was just the way it was brought forward. Sort of like when I looked at it online. Oh, I'll just look at it.
Seeing it in consistency, have you got any comments? So,
I'll try,
I
but
want
it's
to
just
run-
logged me out.
yeah, it's just doing that thing all afternoon.
I wasn't just moving.
Ah, here we go.
I lost 1,000 emails.
Pardon?
So this
You lost
is
1,000 emails.
Not for
2881.
now, obviously, but we need to have a talk about that afterwards, for the problem.
No comments. No, okay.
To be fair, if you look at the plot, okay, fine, it comes out in a funny shape, but it's still
It's bringing it
It's
into the line.
it goes on the line.
With the next door neighbours.
with the next door neighbours. They're the ones going to get the shadow of that bit in the corner there. So they're the ones.
It was the other side, sorry to interrupt, it was
Yeah.
the other side where they've got that gap.
Yeah.
Going on a bit there, they've
This
got a
one.
window there,
Right.
and that's what I was worried
And
about.
so like that's not.
That's what I was worried about, because it says
Well-
two-storey front,
Mm.
and that's what I was a little bit concerned about. Will that's why I expressed concern.
Yeah.
Will
Well,
it-
I think I agree
happy
with you.
I'm happy to put that in as a reason to raise the thoughts, not saying definitely no, but to say that we've raised
Yeah.
concern regarding the loss of images to the neighbouring property.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that as set out again, it's spot on.
I
Yeah.
think exactly what you've written there is, yeah,
Brilliant.
I
Thank you.
think that's
Again,
perfect, yeah.
You need to, you have to provide street plans and street scenes.
Well,
Yeah.
this is what,
Very difficult to
I think we
tell.
raised this with St Albans a long time ago, saying that, we felt that perhaps every application should perhaps have a street scene, but I don't know.
No, I think someone
I don't
take a
think they
picture and
enforce
put it with their application.
I actually went on to, what I tried to do is go onto Google Maps, but we
Mm.
can't print every single one off.
No,
Can we do it here?
I can't get onto it tonight,
no.
it's playing up.
Okay.
No, I think, as you said, it's keeping in, there's no such thing as building line anymore, it's keeping things in that respect, but it's, as you said, I hadn't realised that was a window there, so, as set out, I think is covering our concern, and see what the officer in St Albans eventually balances, but with them not making a comment, it might be just too soon.
I'd comment that, concern about the size of the extension and impact on neighbours, and if nobody...
That's
none of
right,
the
that's
Well,
neighbours-
that's what we've put
That's what it says there.
in the comments here with regards to the two-storey front,
Yeah.
which may impact on the neighbours. Yes, expect concerns. So if you're happy the way that
Yeah.
Yeah.
the officers put it down, yep, I'm very happy with that.
Fine, ma'am.
Oh, sorry.
The issue often is that sometimes the neighbours who are there at the moment they're elderly and they don't pick up these things.
No,
happening. They're not-
we have to rely on the officers and St Albans protecting them in some ways. If
You have to
I
rely on
I do hope they actually knock at a neighbour if they think that there is
an issue.
an issue, but we have no power to ask them to do that.
Because it's you know, they then get a horrendous shock because they're not, or
Yeah.
many people can't read plans, so they just
Well,
have no idea.
we've raised the question, so hopefully we've covered our bit, and hopefully the officer will answer that query with the report. Are we happy to move forward?
Yeah.
Right, 5/2015-2926. Again, it's a non-material amendment, so it's insertion of ground floor side windows of planning permission. I don't think, as long as they're complying with. Is it? Fair enough. So, I'm sorry, I put that in front of me.
No.
No, that's fine. I mean, we don't need to make comments on that one. Right, 5/2015-2937, single-storey side, two-storey rear extension. Again, this is a resubmission. I'm presuming by this that it was originally refused, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it says it.
It says, oh, it's permit for 2015. I'm hopeful that they, 2015, 3, 4.
Hate skill bump.
Yes, sorry, I don't understand why it's been resubmitted. It was still being enforced 2015. I couldn't really work out what had changed.
They've changed, bifold doors have been changed to French doors, side lights, ground floor side windows been removed, and a larger bedroom window has been installed in the master bedroom. So
Well,
it's just material change.
Nothing, no,
Yeah.
no.
So
It's already been granted
Yeah.
permission, so it's just material
Yeah.
amendments.
Yeah.
No, it's not changing thematic, sorry, I didn't read it too detailed enough. Next one, 5/2015-2940, two-storey rear extension at 20 Park Rise. Any comments?
So have a look at these.
Yeah. And this is an infill, if you know what I mean, it's sort of like just squaring off the
Okay.
building. Didn't have too much of a problem with it, I didn't feel, there you can see.
Okay, so it's not, yeah.
Did it really?
No, and the other one comes up further than that one, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, no.
Comments? No. No, there's that one.
Is that one okay to get through?
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
no,
fine.
that's,
Look, can I do the bits back?
that's what you want really when you say if it's okay.
Thank you.
Right, on to the next page, 5/2015-2978, single-storey front extension at 11 Carpenter's Close. I couldn't see any reason, any problem with this, as long as it doesn't object to.
This is an infill.
Front extension, how do we go on street scene and that one with my own queries?
I can't remember this one. After the best one. It's infill at the front, but I can't remember it.
Or it's the problem was closed down?
They're just filling in the front here, so they're coming out the front there. Yeah.
Oh, so it's under, it's where they have the, you know on Carpenter's Cove, they have the houses that have the garages underneath.
Yes.
So they're just filling it in.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
right,
they've effectively
so-
done infill on the garage and put a garage on the side, haven't they?
No, because the garage on this side, I think, is the other property's garage.
Ah.
I think that's the way they work.
Google Maps couldn't find it.
I think that's it. When you go at Carpenter's Cove, if you, they're all on like at the end, aren't they? So you go up and they'll have. Oh no, hang on, no, that's not right. I'm on the wrong side of the road. Okay, no, ignore me. No worries. I don't really have an
Well, that's a pretty standard extension on that type of house.
Yeah.
It's nothing unusual.
Right at the end of the cul-de-sac. Are you happy with that?
No objection.
Subject 2. Right, the next one we've already discussed earlier on. 37 Camborne Drive. Next one, 5/2015-2988. Single-storey front extension, two-storey side extension, part single, part two-storey rear extension, and alterations to openings. It's at 47 Grove Avenue. The neighbouring properties have already raised concern, although it is slightly smaller than the previous one. Now, this house in Grove Avenue, just a bit of information for you all, is one of the few ones that actually has two entrances. It already has two drive across pavement. Two drop-down curves. It is the only one in Grove Avenue, because I immediately looked at this, because I had this on committee earlier on this year, and we recommended refusal, and indeed St Albans came back and agreed with us. I've been over and had a look at it again this afternoon. Now, what the picture that they've put on the internet shows 3 cars at right angles to the road. I don't know if you've got that picture.
They haven't given me a lot of pictures this time round. That's all they
They've put 3, the application is showing the parking spaces 3. Now, you cannot actually park 3 cars at right angles to the road. Right.
Is it one of those though where you could do sort of one
Well,
in,
you can go in one in the
and
front.
one in?
My only concern is that planning an extension on the front, this could remove the facility to drive in and out. So there's only two parking spaces, and then they're not going to have enough parking spaces for the bedroom. Because Grove Avenue, there are no parking spaces in the evening at all. So it's.
Do you want me to look at that?
Sorry, it's 2988. It's on the block plan picture.
Have they added this then? Or did I just not have it from before?
You see, they put 3. Those 3
Oh, yeah.
X's are 3 parking spaces.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that's showing to me that they think they can put another ramp down and be able to drive in at right angles to the front, which you can't. You're only allowed 1 drop-down curve for a property. If you've already got 2, well, you've already got them. So, because for 4 bedrooms, how many bedrooms are we going to end up with? 4 bedrooms. Is it 4? Is it in the loft?
Why haven't I got all this down?
Which 4 bedrooms it has to have?
Oh, there it is. I have got it.
Oh, you did have that, okay. Sorry, no, this to my mind was showing up parking spaces 1, 2, 3. They've got 2, they've got that one there and that one there, because they've got the 2 drop-down curves.
Oh, you can't get the third car.
You couldn't get the third
Yeah.
you can't do another drop-down curve.
Unless it goes sideways.
Yeah.
Well, listen, but by bringing the front extension forward,
You're not
you're going to
allowed.
make it very difficult to turn the car from driving in to turn the car round. So I think it's only got 2 parking spaces.
How many
For 4
bedrooms
bedrooms.
are there? Oh,
But there's nowhere to park on the road.
okay, I think it's not enough.
It's you see, at the moment, the right-hand side is a carport right the way down. It's got enough 2 cars in the carport and the space at the front because it's got a drive-out drive as such, and then there's a garage at the back, or shed, come what. So it actually has.
Is there anything? Oh no, 4 bedrooms.
It's 4
Yeah.
bedrooms.
Yeah.
That's 3 cars, so where's the other cars?
So it should have 3 cars. As I said, Grove Avenue at night, there's just nowhere to park at all. Because the houses on the opposite side of the road don't have drives at all. lots of them don't. So, my concern,
Right, so, recognising.
I mean, the previous reasons for refusal have not been,
addressed.
I mean, originally concerns were expressed regarding insufficient parking provision. They haven't done anything to change the house to make any more parking provision.
Express concerns regarding parking provision.
Yeah. So
What did we say before? Did we say refuse before? Yeah, I know, express concern, so it's continue to express concern.
SAD refused. The two-storey extension by way of its rear wards, projection along the boundary would create a sensory enclosure and have an overhanging impact on the rear of it. This is number 49, was written to me, detrimental to their residential amenity. Well, it is on the right-hand side, and it's still, to my mind, is still going back here. It's still showing it going back on the... So, previous reasons for refusal have not been adhered to.
Pulled that in.
Sorry?
They pulled that in.
Yes, but not really.
No.
Because at the moment there's nothing there.
It's not significant enough, is it?
And indeed the parking provision, because they cannot put drop-down curves all the way along.
That's in fact, we go one stage further. We expressed concern this last time. Well, I'm looking at the wheelchair. Whether we recommend refusal.
Right, so we are...
Well, no, I think I'd rather say that previous reasons for refusal, which included that, have not been adhered to. So, yes, we recommend refusal.
Recommend refusal, previous reasons.
Are we all happy with that?
Yes.
I think it's an overdevelopment.
Yeah.
It is. It's just somebody's bought a house that's very tired. It needs something doing to it, but this is just taking it that step too. And we're creating problems for everybody else in the road. Really, it's a shame. Right now. 5/2015-2998, construction of a detached 6-bedroom dwelling and associated parking and landscaping, resubmission following withdrawal at land adjacent to 6 High Elms.
It's gone up from being a 4-bedroom
Yes,
dwelling.
George has hit the nail on the head. This, because bear in mind, this is a house in somebody's back garden, or on the side, but it's a very, 6 High Elms is a very big, very nice plot actually, and they obviously have cut the plot in half to build something on the back. They did, what happened is, the previous owners who owned the house, or applied to have something built in their back garden, went through quite a difficult planning regime to get the 4-bedroom approved. It went on and on and on. It was eventually approved
2014?
in last year. They then decided to sell the house with planning permission. They sold the house with planning permission because they didn't want to construct the house while they lived there. Somebody, a developer, has bought the house and has now decided, with the planning permission,
To go bigger.
to really add another story to it.
No.
But
He's saying it is on the, in the notes, they're saying it is on the same footprint, but driving up High Elms, I could not see another 3-storey, built as a 3-storey house in High Elms. Lots of people have put roof lights in their loft as such, but this is being constructed with a very high roof as a 3-storey with 2 bedrooms built in the loft.
I'm very concerned that there has been a 4-bedroom house which has been approved, having been through a lot of process to get that done, and it seems that that actually is a good application that's going to build a house because there's been so much done with that. Surely if there'd have been scope for having a bigger house in the first place, there would have been bigger. It kind of strikes me as trying luck,
Cheers, very much.
and
Agreed.
if it's going up that high and it's not that level, no way.
I would go for recommend refusal. Doesn't fit with the street scene, overdevelopment of the site. And it'll be bigger, it'll dominate on the Cedar Street.
The first story will basically dominate them.
Will dominate the street, so just no.
I mean, it's only got, on the pictures and plans, they've only put two very small roof lights in, but I can't believe if you put bedrooms in the full size of bedrooms, the very little roof lights are just going to survive that. It's going to be...
Well, they're going to be in for a planning application with
Yes,
them.
yes. So those are my thoughts. And indeed, the objections, if you look at the objections on the internet, that is the worry of all the neighbouring properties, who had eventually accepted
I said
the...
overbearing on existing trees.
And it's kind of almost as if the roof is so big it's hiding the rooms inside of it.
Yeah.
So it's sort of...
We have to look that
because it has to be tall enough to get the extra bit. It's like, oh, there's no room up here, really.
But no, it is... I mean, it's a shame, because I think... I remember this one in 2000. It didn't actually come to Plans North, but there was quite a lot of talk about people building in their back gardens, which has happened with a few properties in West Common. But they actually eventually got an agreement from everybody that this 4-bedroomed house, which was agreed, was acceptable in that respect. It's just a shame that then sold it on and it's been bought by... Anyway, we won't go on
Somebody
that.
saw an opportunity,
Yes.
probably doesn't...
I mean, I don't know. It is possible that this will be called in. I'm just taking guidance on that. I can't, because I still Plans North, but it could be by one of the other South councillors. Right. Can we all look, please? Right. Next, probably the most difficult one of the night. 5/2015-2684, proposing a 4-bedroom detached dwelling, associated landscaping, parking and new access for between 14 and 15 Gordon's Walk. This, as you can probably tell from the picture, for those anybody hasn't had a chance to go down it, it's this green here. This is a green space that was the houses were built in 1990 by Bryant Homes. The part of the agreement under 106, come leisure, come all the rest of it, was they had to leave an amenity space as part of the 19 houses. They built 19 houses on the thing. This used to be Harpenden Gasworks many moons ago. This is the site of it. So what happened was, the rules, there's one lady who lives in Gordon's Walk, who has lived there since it was built. She's looked at her deeds, and her deeds quite clearly state from Bryant Homes that under no circumstances can this be used except for the leisure activities of the 19 houses.
When was the original plan?
1990.
So who
I don't
owns
know, there's no reason, those deeds are forever. There's
Yeah.
no reason for 25 years.
So what the developer has put an application in to try and get planning permission, and then he's going to try and buy this space from Bryant Homes.
Do Bryant Homes own the land?
Well, we think that Bryant Homes still own it because somebody comes along and cuts the grass. Town don't, district don't, county don't, and the other thing about it is this road, until about halfway down, is unadopted.
That was the condition when those houses were built. There was no reason why we would overstay.
So I'm very concerned about.
And I think that should go.
The other thing about it is, if you look at this map here, this is the turning circle. Obviously it's a cul-de-sac in that respect. Here, they've always had an agreement, except at night, that no one will park here because lorries coming down need that area to turn around in. here was a pavement that was created to make sure that people could, I don't know, walk. And the other thing is, it is a space used by children in the summer. People do walk their dogs. The developer has said it is a dog's toilet. A horrible report that he's put in, but this is just...
Yeah, but that's because...
Oh,
that's
of course they are. They're going to make a lot of money if they can
Yes.
sell it.
So, the residents are up in arms about it. You read some of the emails I've got.
Yeah.
I've had copies of deeds, I've had copies of agreements.
I think especially because the residents are up and there's a few things at play here, isn't there?
Well, there's no parking.
There's the fact there's, well, A, no parking, B, turning tables, C, I think most people, this was an agreement, whatever. I know we don't have any say about who owns the land, but who even owns, that he doesn't even own this land to it. And also, local residents have said that they
You have to think of a planning reason for it.
It's an overdevelopment of a small enclosed space,
A small green space.
and it would create enormous parking difficulties and access difficulties to existing residents.
At night, there isn't one place to park a car in that road.
Yeah.
Because Dan Chester Miles lives at the end of it.
Yeah.
He lives at Churchfield, so... but no, I don't know, on a couple of occasions I've got to pick him up. I could drive down there to try and turn the car around.
Yeah.
And there's just
Don't
isn't any
go
at all.
down
It's
there.
just- no,
Yeah, no,
no.
it's really difficult.
So it is... I mean, the actual ownership of the land is not down to us, that would be down to St Albans to actually...
Yeah. Is somebody calling it in?
It's called in already.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the officers then will have to have a lot more details than we've actually got at the moment on the internet. I've only got details from the residents.
Okay.
So I was having difficulty of finding planning grounds to refuse it, other than probably parking.
It's overdevelopment.
Yeah.
But see,
Ruining the street seems...
that being the
Parking.
cul-de-sac, at the evening people park there, so no one would have access to his house, because that cul-de-sac is the only access to the...
Are you coming up with them now? Originally I couldn't see, but now you did.
Removal of resident, reduction of resident amenity. It was left out as an amenity space.
Yeah.
Removing it would reduce that.
You could have built there in the first place.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't because there was a very good reason.
Well, no, exactly, but that's the thing, is that otherwise there wasn't that very good reason.
Yeah.
See, in
That
1990,
must be
reading back to the rules on 106 in 1990, lots of housing developments that were built in that, 25 years ago, part of the planning permission was there had to be some place for leisure adjoining, a green space.
Quite right.
Yeah.
A green space. So I would be very upset if suddenly they start overturning all these.
With little developments all over Harpenden, which will affect a lot of people.
I'm not suggesting we turn it to a village green, but it still is a... Sorry, I don't make a comment.
There was mention of somebody trying to register there somewhere or something.
Register what?
The piece of land. No?
No, it's registered as a green space, and it has to stay as a green space.
That's what I mean.
No, I was only saying the residents have been trying to think of every way they can register it to protect it, but they're more worried about. Sorry.
Right, sorry.
I was only
sorry,
trying to comment that the residents were looking at ways to register. I wasn't trying to. Anyway, I think we've made enough comments in the.
So we're recommending refusal, or we're just expressing concern?
Recommend refusal.
Recommend refusal. Impact on existing residents, all the things that have been written down. Right, we move forward. 5/2015-2908, single-storey rear extension and 2 rear dormer windows, 72 Tennyson Road. I think, as long as they're complying with design, I agree with exactly what the officer said. Nobody's complained about it.
As set out.
Next one, similarly, certificate of lawfulness, asking for a lot conversion. They have to go through this these days for. Sorry, I should have said anyway. 5/2015-2938, Block conversion, trying to get outline permission.
Mhm.
111 Top Street Way, nothing to worry about. Next one, 5/2015-2961, renew boundary fencing, brick wall, piers and gate to front and new garage. Front guard repeats existing playroom. I didn't see a reason.
It sounds like it's improving.
Yeah, I think it's
I mean,
it's
because,
had so many bits added to it and
Yeah.
alterations. You know, it's gone on for.
yeah, the piers and the brick wall are very similar to the neighbouring property. The double garage it's half on the existing footprint. It's forward a little bit, but there's such a big space at the front, and it's in line with another garage which is on the other side of the property, so more or less on the same building line. So,
No, I think, seems to be the Gordon's Walk night tonight. 5/2015-2995, proposal for a rear conservatory at 3 Gordon's Walk. Did we have that earlier on? Where was 3 Gordon's Walk? Oh, sorry, perhaps I've misread. I've jumped the gun a bit, so if I just realised it. Again, I'm not anti-conservatives at all. We've had various discussions recently at Plans North regarding.
I have to say, these plans weren't exactly brilliant. I know the second lot of plans I've had in the last couple of months that have been presented to St Albans, and the quality is pretty bad. And personally, when it comes to looking at them for people who have to look at plans on the website, neighbours, etc.,
Well, I couldn't look at these at all.
I think they're pretty bad. So, and that's not print quality. That's how they are on the website. And that's not the first lot of plans, because I've actually spoken to the officers at St Albans and said, is that how they are?
I like the architect's that.
So, yeah. So whether, I don't know, whether St Albans should be chucking them back and saying, actually, they're not good enough.
You can't wait, you can't send.
I've had worse than that. I've had plans, I think it was in last month, that I could barely see the lines.
Well, I can't read any of the figures, even with a magnifying glass on a large screen. It's just. I do agree that I think we should be, the people who originally opened the plans in St Albans and made the immediate decision on it should say, sorry, we need proper, readable plans, not sort of 20 photocopies down the line, which that looks like that is.
And the fact is that there are people that now have to rely on looking at these plans online, and there are people who are visually impaired that have to look at these, and it's not acceptable, I don't really
Well,
think.
it's difficult because we don't have access to the property
No.
to go and have a look what actually the application is, and it is. I will bring it up in that respect. So yes, I mean I've nothing against the application as such, as long as it complies with and the neighbours aren't objective. Well, like you set out.
Especially based on why it was rejected in the first place, because it was rejected on the street scene, and so I think that.
But then they went to appeal. They got the appeal allowed. So now I think they're just.
Well, they're just
adjusting it.
filling it in at the back.
Yeah.
And we're not used to it.
Yeah.
But no. And then the rest list of trees and what have you. We don't get involved in any of the rest. So all the decisions have been made.
Yep.
And that is. So we've just got, as you can see on page, the beginning of the agenda in that respect, going through the agenda, We had no letters of objection. I think they've all been emails sent to me.
Yeah, there was one received just after this went out from a resident regarding 1415 Gordon Talk, and
I
obviously...
think I've got them all.
Yeah.
I think because I'm the local council as well as I'm listed as being on Plans North. Then we've got appeals coming up for Windrush, Five Morton End, West Common, Paddock Wood. Didn't know that was coming. Oh yeah, I remember what that one is now, yeah, correct. And Barnes Road. And indeed, I was going to alter it for me, but she's done it already for me. The next Plans North meeting, at the bottom of your page there, is actually next Monday, the 30th of November. And those of you here all know it's our full council night as well. So I will be here at full council night. I won't be at Plans North, and Kerry Heritage will do Plans North for me. Okay. Because Bert unfortunately has to go to Plans North because he's called in one of the applications being discussed. That really is it. I conclude it that it's I'll let you know.